Hello and welcome back to another early adopter edition in UML Operator Channel. And in this episode, we're going to talk about a new feature in YouTube called Ask and Learn. So I heard about this back in 23 and it was hype at the time, and we were kind of excited because, as most of you know, I have been pushing for AI augmentation of teaching since 2008, 2010 timeframe. And it's been a long time coming. In 2023, it was still hype. We still had a lot of problems with AI giving the right answers, not putting in bias or without telling us, and really not being accurate in many different areas, whether it's education or it's history or things like that. For example, I did a couple of videos on this where we would use AI. This was last year. We would use AI to help us teach us coding or how to use a tool. And it was not aware of what version we may be in of a coding language or a tool, and gave a lot of bad direction and information. In 2025, things have been getting a lot better. We've been working hard for a decade now, teaching our learning models. And these new advancements in 2025 are just expediting that model learning. So with YouTube Ask and Learn, this is actually myself as an educator, as a collaborator, putting out what I believe, and yes, there is bias in a lot of the things that I do, and I have agendas. Of course, I have an agenda when I'm creating a video, but AI understanding those biases, understanding what the topic is, what the agenda is learning as people are asking questions, as people are providing positive or negative feedback to the questions and the answers. So I want to say the analytics as we're teaching these learning models. So without further ado, let's jump into a couple of examples. So we're in a video I created recently on building an MDG technology. And if you go down in the bottom of the video, you'll see something called Ask. You can also look in the description and you'll see Ask and Learn link. Let's go ahead and select it. And it brings up the Ask and Learn. It starts to bring up some questions and allows you to even ask questions about a particular topic or subject that you may be on. So what is MDG and why should I be building one? So I'm going to click it. I can help you with this. Try asking something else. Well, that's not good. I'm going to give it a thumbs down, right? You give it some feedback. I'm not going to do that right now. I do give it feedback because I want to help the learning. Can you give me an analogy of what a stereotype is? And then we'll go ahead and select it. It's thinking, and it's going through some context using analytics, using nouns and verbs that may be used in my video or that is in its learning model. So it's telling you what a stereotype is, and then it's giving you some references. This video explains a stereotype. Let's go ahead and with time markers, by the way, it goes through and helps you understand, and it gives you a lot more questions so you can also ask a question. Let's ask a question down here. What is MDG? I'm just going to not even put technology in it. I don't need the question mark. And then I can't help you with this, trying something else. This is not good. Give it a thumbs down. Again, get feedback, and you can provide feedback to help the learning model. I should stop doing that because I do want to give feedback. But I explain what MDG is in this video and parts of the series. So a lot more learning needs to take place, but here's a good example. Here is a video I created in January of 2024, and I can even go back to when we started the channel in 23. Now, I don't know how anybody watches my videos on regular, so we're going to turn off sound, try that again. I put it on 1.25 speed or sometimes 1.5 speed, and then I have transcript turned on. And this is all fine and dandy, but I want to go down here and I want to ask a question. So I go down through here, it's look through the content, probably the transcript, I would assume, and give me a simple definition of solicitation. Really? Let's go ahead and click on that one. And this is pertaining to requirements engineering, the 4 stages of requirements engineering. And it comes through and tells you that, it even gives you a time marker to what it's going to. And then you be the judge of whether, yeah, that was a great answer. I'm hoping that this is also providing me feedback and analytics on the content that I'm doing as a content creator. So there's so many more. I could spend just a ton of time. But the questions that, let me pause this. The questions that I have are around, is this in your area, in your country? I have a lot of subscribers from around the world, and I'd like to know what your experience is with Ask and Learn or AI in general. All right, we're going to wrap up now. I just wanted to get this out. We had another video for the early adopter next episode already canned, but I started playing around a lot more with this over the last week or two and really wanted to get this subject out there. The reason for that is because please leave comments down below on your experience with AI. Is Ask and Learn available in your region, to you domestically, in your country, or wherever you are? I'd like to know that, how Google, how YouTube is progressing. And also the accuracy of AI. It's still mixed 50-50 on that. And I want to continue to get feedback on, especially with my content as we're going forward. I've been teaching, sharing, training technical staffs in particular for 30 plus years. And in the 80s, the 70s, I used to read quite a bit. In the 80s, I read 1,000 pages a week, lots of tech manuals and books. And then in the 90s, as the internet was coming about, I spent hours reading over blogs and forums, especially with my mentors in the industry. And then in the 2000s, as the mobile technologies came about and social media platforms came about, I have followed thousands of subscribers, content creators. I want to go on and on. My mentors that publish, especially on YouTube, been following them. Now, some of the folks have a lot of bias. They have an agenda. They're selling a product. I am not selling any product here. My agenda is pushing computer-aided software engineering and UML. And I'm not owned by Sparx. I just happen to love Sparx out of all of the tools in my tool belts. But in this channel, we're going to be talking about other tools. And of course, I'm going to be coming back to Sparx and OMG standards quite a bit. And most importantly, following AI and AI agents as they are supporting us in the delivery of anything that we're doing. I know there's a lot of content creators that are afraid of what AI is doing or what will do, but I'm an old timer, right? In the 70s, when electronic calculators were coming about, all sorts of doom and gloom, how it was going to dumb us down in mathematics. And I think that was proven wrong. In the late 70s and the 80s, as personal computers were coming about, the same doom and gloom. Oh, we're all going to lose our jobs and the computers are going to take over the world. And we know how that turned out. And AI and machine learning, since I've been working in the field since 2008 and 2010, had the same hype curve, had the same fears, and still has them today. Should we have governors on what's taking place in AI? Should there be a monitor of the monitors? The answer is absolutely yes. But you see how YouTube is doing it and Ask and Learn? They're giving you the ability to help train their learning models, give feedback, and more. And I think a lot of AI providers do the same thing. ChatGPT, been using that since OpenAI came about, but now Musk and the team has moved over to Grok, so I use Grok and ChatGPT. I think their AI models are learning. There's still some issues. Some AI platforms are more accurate, more, or I should say less bias, and actually building off real factual information as they're going forward. But how can we make our learning models better? And the answer is us providing feedback to learning models, evaluating them, letting these learning models and the companies or teams that are developing them know if they're doing the right thing, if they're doing well, or they're failing in what they're producing as results. I could talk for hours on this, and I better stop. Until that next episode, thanks again for watching, and happy modeling.